which it looks like they're in a park or something like that, but I'm gonna just play it really quickly. I'm not gonna play the entirety of it because it then gets to a point to where it gets a little bit more violent than I would like to show on this channel. But if you go through... Okay, so let me look at this real quick. Let me back this up really, really quickly. Okay, so the guy in the orange, it looked like... Let me see something. The guy in the orange apparently is a stepfather, okay? And so he going back and forth with the stepmother that's in the purple over there. I don't know who the lady in the white is. And then the kid in the red is Lil Durk's son, okay? Let me back this up a little bit. It looked like the little boy was pointing at the guy just for a second. I could see him point at him. Let me back this up a little bit. You see how he pointed at him? Right there? And that's the part that I can't show you guys because, let me rewind it one more time. There's a little girl over here too. Right there. You see how he pointed it at him? Now that's not the actual part that he shot him, okay? The actual...
Nah, I just gotta stop it right here. One, how this young man get that gun? Two, this young man hasn't been properly trained on how to handle a gun or how he should handle a gun, but he for sure know how to shoot the motherfucker, obviously. This is sad, man. This is sad. I never want to speak against trying to make a family or have a relationship, but the fact of the matter is, if you wasn't willing to do what you had to do to keep the dude you had a baby by, then trying to force somebody else to fill that position is never going to go right. Finding somebody who's really going to fill that position and respect and treat you how you want to be treated, maybe not how you deserve, but how you want to be treated, that's going to be bad as well. All these families out of spite, you get a lot of this type of shit going on. And I know some of you might be like, Juan-O, but you got stepkids or you raised stepkids, and dog, let me tell you, that's some of the most unappreciated, that's some of the shit, the most expensive shit I've done that's been the most unappreciated. Facts. My mother was a single mother, so were a lot of my aunties, and what I can tell you about women that are single mothers is there's a certain mentality that's there. There's a certain mentality that is there. I, as a man, I could never walk away from my kids or their mothers, no matter what they do. But do my kids' mothers feel that way about me? Hell, fuck no. That's how I ended up with more than one kid's mother. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, don't do it. It's hard enough to be a parent to your own kids. Then you fuck around and get shot by your stepson or embarrassed or robbed or whatever the case may be by somebody who you chose to help out. Not had to help out, but chose to help out. And you out here changing people's lives and they change yours in a fucked up way, like getting shot at a park. But he shouldn't have been tussling with this bitch, no way. He shouldn't.
The actual part that he shot him was a little bit further over here. You can see the guy in the orange is still tussling with the mother, apparently. The auntie is sitting over there to the side.
Too much.
The boy is slightly behind the tree. And then he pointed at the dude in the orange. And then eventually the dude in the orange fall out. And he fall behind whatever this SUV is. I'm not sure if that's a Hyundai, if that's a Chevy.
That's a Sierra.
I don't know what that is.
That's a Sierra 1500.
It's a little girl and there's some kids across the street.
Right.
And if you rewind it all the way back to the beginning, it's a little girl that's walking down there by the little pole. You see it down there in the left-hand corner, a little bit to the left. And then they arguing and going back and forth. My question then becomes, how did the kid get the gun in the first place? How did the kid get the gun in the first place?
Exactly. How?
Kid got pushed away. And then this is where I guess they tussled into the street. The auntie looked like she told him not to do it. If you look at it, she in the way of him, and then eventually it go bad.
This just ain't worth it.
This is absolutely the worst thing, and this is the thing that I say.
It ain't worth it.
The culture is trash and the things that we celebrate the most. Number one,
facts.
I would never, again, never under any circumstance advocate for any man to become a step baby daddy. Under no.
This nigga's right. Now, Anton been married to his girl from high school, so he ain't been out here in the streets. But for some of us that's been slanging dick, man, and dating and all of this other shit, take it from me, the mindless mentor. Don't be a step baby daddy. Don't. Just think about this. How could you trust someone that will destroy or leave the family they created to be with your ass? How can you trust someone to do everything that's expected of them in a relationship that they wouldn't do in a family? Because all my life I heard deadbeat dad this, deadbeat dad that. And I believed it until I got grown and I started seeing fathers. Until I became a father. And quite frankly, out of 10 people I know that's fathers, I put it like this. I don't know any man that's a father who don't take care of his kids. I don't know any man who is a father whose child's mother doesn't depend on them for help, security, money, shit, sometimes even jobs. So, and this is in my real life experience. But I know a lot of women that walked away from a good family situation for no reason, because they felt the way, because they didn't like something, because they couldn't control something. Just totally destroyed their family structure. Shit, I've been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And some of these women, once they have one kid without a father, they have no respect for keeping the fathers around of the other kids. You know why? Because a father being in the picture provides accountability for everybody. And that's the one thing that a lot of these single mothers share, is a lack of accountability. I'm not calling every person, every single parent unaccountable. But what I am saying is a lot of unaccountable people are single parents. Period. A lot of unaccountable people are out here on their own, period, because they unaccountable. You can't bank on, you can't gamble with, you can barely help somebody that's not even accountable to themselves or what they created. And everybody walk around making excuses for not being accountable. But you make a choice when you put more effort into your friends or your relatives or what you watch on social media than into your family. You making a choice to do that shit. So when the results of your kids being like this, or your man don't want to be with you, or whatever the case may be, you work for that. You work for that. You know, you put on 100 pounds and keep the same bad attitude, somebody might look at you a little bit differently. Is that they fault? I don't think so. But that's that lack of accountability.
Circumstance now. In this, you can't even really tell who the problem is or who the aggressor is, because it almost looks like he's trying to get something from her, or she's not responding or something like that. She puts him away. They fighting. He trying to get something out of her hand. He trying to get something out of her hand, and that's where the conversation is, or the confrontation is. I see the little doggy getting it. This is just a hot mess. This is a hot mess. I got kids all down the street. It look like they on a residential street of some sort, so the camera is outside of the crib. It's a gated fence and all of that. This is just a hot mess altogether. Auntie or whoever it is, the friend, is trying to prevent the little boy from doing stuff, and it's just all bad, 100%. I'm not really sure who's in the wrong. You can avoid this. And this is the lesson that we take from this, ladies and gentlemen, is that you can avoid putting yourself in this situation by never getting involved with somebody that got somebody else's kids, especially a rapper's kid. And the only reason that we even talking about this is because it's a rapper's kid. You can completely avoid putting yourself in this situation by never talking to. First of all, the first red flag is dealing with a woman that you don't want to deal with. Because never let a woman put you in a position to where you then have to compromise and then ultimately end up in a hospital because you're going back and forth with her in the first place, regardless of whether or not she got kids.
Yes.
Then
yes.
you throw in that mix the fact that you the step baby daddy. Now you really a crash dummy because you in a hospital, and you a step baby daddy because now her, I don't know if it was a 10-year-old, 9-year-old son. I'll have to do a little bit of research, and I'm gonna put that in the title and the description, or in the title of the video. Now you got her son who probably is saying, you ain't my daddy, and can't wait to get at you in the first place. It does not matter who fault it is.
Right.
It don't matter who the aggressor or none of that, because we can't really tell in this video. And he can't wait to do something. We don't know where he got the gun from.
Well, see, the sad part about this incident is these women ain't gonna get in trouble at all. But that little boy, he got a record. He gonna have to have a behavioral plan and all type of shit just to be able to go to school. The man, on top of being shot, he may face charges for some of this tussling that they doing. So it's a lose-lose, and that's why women don't have to be accountable. It's not, and then she could sit there and say it's everybody's fault but her own that her son shot somebody, when really it is her fault. Why you dealing with this type of nigga? Why y'all having fights like that? What are y'all fighting over? Give him his shit, let him roll.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It kind of looked like he the aggressor. But never put yourself in a situation where you got to go to jail over somebody else's kid. That's number one. Never put yourself in a position to have to deal with somebody else's kid who ain't gonna never look at you as their father. That's number two. And then number three is so many red flags that we can walk away from. A lot of the times, I can actually understand why people will say, well, it's the man's fault too, or whatever. And the thing that I can use to combat that is to say, well, you can't put that on all men because most men are not in this situation in the first place. But the other side of the conversation is when one man, and this is why I say simping is bad. Simping is a disease that needs to be eradicated.
Facts, it do.
When one man fumbles the bag and finds himself in a compromised situation, then you can't, under any circumstance, you can't take that back. Because now he put himself in a stupid situation in the first place. The only way that you can truly prevent this, and the only way you can 100% avoid it, is to never be a part of it in the first place. That kid is never gonna call you father. He's never gonna respect you. He can't wait to pull out the ooh-op shebang. We don't even know where he got the pistol from in the first place. It's not like you can ever do anything or discipline him, because then you gotta deal with his father on top of that. And I don't even see the benefit. What is the benefit? I will never, ever see the benefit of a man that then puts himself in harm's way for another man's child and then justifies it by saying that he love her. It ain't enough love in the world. It ain't enough love, in my personal opinion, personally. It's not enough love in the world to where I'm ever going to be in a position where I'm fighting and going back and forth with a woman. That's number one. A woman that I know, or a woman that I lay with, or a woman that I married. Because apparently if he a stepfather, then he married her. And then to also be trying to raise her kids. The little girl is the one that's screaming.
Okay. Anton is absolutely positively right. And people tend not to want to listen to Anton on this point because he's been married for so long. But the fact of the matter is, he is absolutely right. There is absolutely no benefit in being a stepfather. I know I have been a stepfather to 3 different kids. You know what I'm saying? The oldest is in college. The second oldest is working a job. And the youngest is fucking going to middle school. You know what I'm saying? And none of them times was that shit appreciated how it was. And it was a very, what it costs you is not temporary. But the gratification in it is very temporary. Now, I'm not gonna say there's not situations where you are appreciated, but that's rare. And then truth be told, you could be appreciated every day until the day you're not. And then it all flips on you. You know, and that's pretty much the problem here. to be honest with you, I don't want to make this a bash women thing, but like, just period, when dating, stay clear of unaccountable people, because it puts you in situations like this. And he's right, there's not enough love in the world for that, because he could have died, somebody else could have died, and whatever happened, it would have been his fault. And when you look at it like that, those are too many risks that you may be taking to enter yourself into that position. You know what I'm saying? This woman that got all these things going on and the kids she can't control. Now, first of all, obviously the child don't respect her. Obviously the child don't respect her, because he wasn't listening to her. So how is he gonna respect you? And this is a common occurrence, because what we miss about these little boys being raised by their mother is they're gonna love their mother regardless, but they also know how full of shit their mama is. They also know that their mama get a check for this but spend it on that. They also know that X amount of dollars come in the house, but it ain't no money for this right here. They also know that shit, my grandmama raised me, and all the other type of things that they know in their mind when it comes down to their mama. So you got a lot of these boys with a lot of misplaced anger that they can't express on mama, even though it's her fault, because it's mama. So they looking for anything. They'll damage mama's car, they'll fuck up mama's relationship, whatever, because mama been a piece of shit to them, and they got to get this anger off some way, somehow. Now, me personally, me having kids, me having a son, I have taught them how to use guns. I have taught them gun safety. We have conversated about what to do in a situation like this, which is leave, son. Call me to get you or call the police, but leave, son. If she's in that type of situation, that means that's what she wanted at that time, because she ain't gotta be in that situation, because she could have called me. And if she ain't called me, which is a whole nother other factor, because that's me taking on danger that I shouldn't be in, based on the choices that some woman makes with her vagina. But nonetheless, me not having dick discipline has already put myself in that situation. But that's for my biological kids. Doing it for your non-biological kids is even worse, man. It's even worse. Anton is 100% right. Don't be step baby daddy. Just don't. If you like a woman with kids, then y'all just date. Y'all freak, y'all get money together, y'all do. But nigga, don't be moving in trying to change her life and help. It's not gonna be appreciated. It's gonna be wasted. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. The same person who can't cook and clean for you is gonna be hosting parties with the pool you bought, feeding people on the dishes you bought, giving them cold beer out the refrigerator you bought, with the child you help raise, and don't even invite your kids. Nigga, don't even invite you on your birthday. Trust me, this is the type of shit you're gonna be dealing with. And then gonna be real disrespectful to you, even though you pay more than your child support. And that's what happens when you're the second baby daddy of a single baby mama. Cause now you take on the responsibility of a woman that don't listen and is unaccountable for every goddamn thing, and a child who, and a child who's not yours. And this is one thing that really gets me about this whole single mama baby daddy bullshit. The same family that helped with that single baby, with the baby whose father's not there, you know, she made a baby with a stripper or a basketball player, some nigga she knew wasn't fucking with her, or a loser. That's the most popular one, a loser, who you knew was a loser. Crazy. The family, her friends, they help out with that baby she made with that loser. But everything they do or assist with for the baby that they made with the father that's there, it costs. It costs. Grandma gonna be sitting there with both her grandkids getting paid to babysit one and babysitting the other one for free. You better motherfucking know it. I'm telling you, don't get involved in that shit. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a whole house full of motherfuckers watching your TV, eating out your refrigerator, swimming in the pool you bought, and all type of shit, in a house you put the down payment, all type of shit, and you ain't gonna be getting no appreciation or no respect. Mind you, none of this shit would exist without you, but they gonna treat you like you benefited off some shit you you put yourself in the hole providing for somebody else and their family so they can have a home. Don't do that shit, dog. Take it from Juan-O. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. We out. Don't do it. Especially in this day and age where the welfare mindset has taken over. And the welfare mindset is the idea that you can have a family without a father. You can't. Shit ain't, you gonna have your Trojan horses here and there, but generally, like, we losing. And you still see women waking up to walk away from their fathers of their kids. I know so many men in bad relationships where they get nothing out of it, but they not willing to walk away because of their kids. But I bet if they start shortchanging their woman and made the relationship bad for them, I bet she'll walk away in a heartbeat. Now, this is just from my own personal experience in life, like that I see every day. I know a lot of married men that's completely unhappy as individuals in their situations, but every day they wake up and do everything for their wife and their kids, even though they not getting no sex, even though they not getting their proper respect, even though the bitch talking behind their back, even though she cheating on them, even though all he hears problems all day, and then she jumps on the phone that he paid a bill for and act like she got it like that to her real friends. Like, so I'm telling you, man, don't do it. I don't have nothing against single mothers. I date you, I get you dinner, all that shit. We could do it all, but what I can't do is hitch my train to yours, baby. We can't do it like that, and I'm out. As I was sitting here, man, something just dawned on me. I looked at that video a couple more times, and that young man had that gun that whole time. It looked like he got it off the tire of the truck. Now, what was his willingness to be so ready to shoot? I'm a son. I have a son, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you put your hands on the mother of one of my sons, they gonna hit you immediately. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be immediately fisticuffs, and if they can't handle you with the fisticuffs, then they gonna go for something else. But their immediate mode is gonna be to defend, not to shoot. That was I'm not gonna say cowardly because we're talking about a kid, but it's hard for me to believe that his overly willingness to shoot someone might just be connected to who his dad is and how his daddy is proclaimed to have gotten down. Just maybe. Just maybe. Because when your kids don't live with you, or you don't see them all the time, or you don't see them at least a couple of times a week, they are enamored with who they think you are. They don't know who you really are, for real, for real. But with that being said, fucked up situation. I just had to add that part. We out.